Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into my closeout for the month of January. We're going to close out the last week, week 5 of the weekly check-in, and those numbers are going to give us the numbers we need on what we spent to close out paycheck 3, and that closes out my January budget. I designed my budget to flow one thing after another. So when I do my monthly budget, this here, I lay down all the stickers. You don't have to use stickers. I just like to use stickers, but I lay down stickers and I put my bills where they belong on the calendar based on their due dates. Then I take the information and I bring it over here into my monthly budget. And this is the first thing I need to know. Do I have enough cash coming in to cover the expenses that are coming out of my monthly budget? Now that's being said, I can take from this calendar here as well, when are my paydays? I have on the 1st, and I use the 12th and the 26th. This is the carryover of a pay schedule that my husband had from his previous job. So I just kind of kept the rhythm flowing, even though the money I needed for the entire month was kind of already brought over. Not kind of, it was definitely brought over either from savings or deposits made from here on the first payday of the month. I kind of broke it up into 3 pay schedule because I wanted to keep the same rhythm I had before. You don't have to do it that way, but that's how I did it. Normally he would have a paycheck here, and a paycheck here from his previous job, and that's where the money would come pay. But since I had it all at the beginning of the month, I just balanced things forward. So that was that. And because I know what expense falls on what day and what paycheck period, that is what I put here. So paycheck 1 was everything that was taken out from the 1st through the 11th. Paycheck 2 here was everything from the 12th to the 25th. And then paycheck 3 over here was the 26th to the 31st, which was not a lot. And I had an interesting story of something that happened and it kind of skewed my numbers. You may have seen that I increased a little bit here for an adjustment. I didn't need to do that because something happened in December that kind of skewed all the numbers, and I discovered it when I was working this out the other day. So I'll get into that as well in a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started with the weekly check-in and closing the numbers out here. So I had $344.28 budgeted for the weekly check-in, for week 5 of the weekly check-in. Restaurants, I had $107.55. There was an error in this as well, and we will go over that in a minute. I actually didn't have that much in the budget, but that's okay. It's all going to be covered, no problem. Miscellaneous, I still had $271.96. That is the best my miscellaneous category is ever done. I think in the past 4 years I've been budgeting. I've never behaved this well. But a lot of the reason why I didn't have a lot of spending, because this happened to be a low spend month for us, and you can tell by all the white space and the no spend stickers that it was a very low spend month. Mainly because there was snow and ice on the roads, so we couldn't really leave the house. I wasn't going to order anything that was going to have to be delivered. It was going to be delayed anyway, and we just didn't get out unless it was absolutely necessary. And it was a great refresher from the holidays of just slowing down, not spending, and not hustle and bustle and trying to keep up with everything that needed to be kept up with. So that is what I have here. And we are working with the 26th through the 31st. This Thursday, normally it's a Friday to Thursday, but this Thursday is actually going to be part of February because February 1st is here. This was actually part of December that carried over into this January. So sometimes I have a combination of 2 months and it's just like a day or two from the previous month, or it was the next month. So, however it worked out. And it just happens to be the way I do my budgeting because it's a Friday to Thursday weekly check-in every week. That's how my schedule goes. So I like doing it this way. So I have my notes here. I've gotten it written all down, and I kind of know everything that we did and what I bought and stuff like that. So we're going to go over that. So grocery household is pink. That's what GH stands for. Anything that has to do with groceries, food we eat, or household items that we need. Cleaning supplies, toiletries, makeup. If you buy it in a grocery store, I usually keep it all in one receipt and just kind of buy it in one place. So this way I don't have to divide my receipt up. I have a large category for all of that. So when I budget for grocery household, not all of that is food. A good portion of it is food, but some of it could be dish soap and laundry soap and things like that. And sometimes it's bathroom supplies and, cleaning supplies and stuff. So that is that. We have $44.71. I just got odds and ends items for meals that we had planned on at our grocery store. And then $58.47. Either my kids or my husband or something came up and they were like, oh yeah, we need this, this, and this. I'm like, you could have told me yesterday. I would have gotten it all at once, but I had to go back again. So I went to the store again, and then here, $128.71. Now this is a total of several items combined. So my husband and I decided the family supplements we're going to do on Amazon. We typically order them from Amazon anyway, but we did the subscribe and save because we do them monthly anyway. Might as well just have it automated. The end of the month is our most disposable income available. And so combined, that's what we have for me, my husband, my sons, and my 2 adult sons. So there's vitamins, and we buy the bigger jars that have a few months. So this may not be the same number every month. Some of them are every 2 months. Some of them are once a month. It just depends. But I have $128.71, and I can go back here and show you the list of everything. So this was everything right here at the bottom. It's all highlighted in pink, and these are the individual charges: $11.34, $20.88, $24.40, $8.83, $11.60, $30.70, and $20.96. So those combined made that number, and instead of writing all of these individual ones out, I just did one little sticker, and that made my life a little easier. So that's that, and they're all supplements. And then one of my sons uses tea tree hair and body moisturizer kind of thing, because his scalp gets flaky and dry, and this helps keep that under control, and the tea tree seems to be working with him. So he uses that, and he keeps his hair cut pretty short, so yeah, that it just helps. So that is that. That was the last grocery item that I had. Whoop. Oh, there we go. So I got that. And let's go ahead and total this up, and we'll see how well we did with grocery household. All right, so I have here $252.56, which is below what I had planned and budgeted for the month, for what was left in the month of January. I start with a specific amount each week, and depending on how I carry the numbers over, if it's over or under, it takes away from the next week. It's like I'm borrowing from the next week to cover the previous week, and sometimes we need to do that because we have to buy it in a certain time frame, or there was a sale or something like that that was too good to pass up, especially like with meats and stuff. When the sales are really good and you're getting buy one get one 50% off or something like that, I can see why somebody would stock up. In fact, I'm getting ready to do that this week myself in ground beef. So totally understand that. Restaurants. So I thought I had $100 left over. I actually did not. And yeah, we'll get through this. So I have Papa John's for $51.30. That was a delivery for the whole family. And then we had, my husband and I went out for lunch at King Buffet for Chinese. We wanted to do a lunch date one last time before he started working here on today on the 1st. And so, yeah, because this day didn't work out, but this day did. And then a transaction, this actually happened here on the 13th. I actually have no spin. This should be back here, but I don't want to mess with the sticker, so I'm just going to leave it there. It doesn't matter. But Buffalo Wild Wings, we did order a delivery of Buffalo Wild Wings, and I had forgot about that, so I added it to this week so I can get an accurate number for the end of the month, even though it happened back here on the 13th. So I do apologize for that. I didn't realize I didn't put it in here. I guess having my husband home every day for an entire month was a little too much for me. And I kept forgetting things and messing up. So I do apologize. So let's go ahead and total this up. Okay, so we did have, with this other one that I forgot, $129.93. And the reason why this is important to add whatever I forgot, because I need to pay the credit card back, and I thought I was keeping it paid off, but because transactions happen so quickly, I really couldn't tell, because there's always a balance, and I have a cutoff date on what time period it's in, and I just didn't realize I messed that up. So I knew it was off a little bit, but I was going to resolve it at the end of the month, not while I was in the middle of the month. And I'm glad I waited, because now it makes sense. I found that transaction. All right, so I have two miscellaneous items. The first one I'm really excited about. This Parchment University document is what that's supposed to say. So my husband, who has a new job, he previously was in IT and in the Navy, and he does not have a degree or any studies in, being in IT or anything. He just has 26 years of hands-on experience with it, and he's very good at it. But it was not his passion, and it was not his love, and it's not what he wanted to do. So he got a master's degree or a bachelor's and then a master's degree in environmental science. And when he did that, he did that because that was his first love. When we met 27 years ago, well, we didn't meet 27, we met 33 years ago, but when we got married 27 years ago, he was in college for environmental science degree. And he got burned out and just didn't know what direction to go in his life. And after praying with the pastors at church, and one night when they were out jogging and stuff, he clearly heard God tell him to join the Navy. And so he did. And as he got further into his career and then retired, his passion and desire to get back into environmental science and kind of get into that field and job was lit on fire again. He, like I said, he finished his bachelor's degree online finally after 20 years of dropping out of college. He went back, he finished it, and then he went and finished his master's degree. And so he got it, and now he gets to use his diploma. This was him getting his transcripts from the university for a job in the field that he has wanted all his life. And it was just a beautiful thing. And of course, $20 is not that big of a deal. And I just think it's a beautiful story that don't ever give up on your dreams. Don't ever stop trying for them. And for believers, lean heavily into God with that, because here my husband is at 50 and getting into a new job field and something he's fired up about. And I am just so proud and thankful for that. So yeah, I'm excited for him. And I was, excited that he ordered that, and it just kind of made it feel so real and tangible that he actually completed a dream and a goal of his. So that was pretty awesome. The $69.93, check this off. Oh, I forgot to check my restaurants off. Amazon $69.93. I ordered my sons, I have two adult sons. I ordered each a new pack of underwear and each a pack of socks. Unfortunately, one pack of the underwear, I got the wrong size, and luckily they fit the other son, so I just gave all of them and then had to order another pack of underwear, and you'll see that in February's budget. So one of my sons has tons of underwear, and he can throw all of his old ones away. And the other one, he'll have plenty, but yeah, it was just funny. I got the wrong size. And I just did not feel like sending it back and exchanging it, especially if it could fit. So it was not a big deal. I just spent extra on underwear this year for them. So these were the two items. 93, 9, and then 6, 7, 8. 89.93 is what we have in miscellaneous. Gas was 53.02. That was my vehicle. My husband put gas in the tank the other day for me. I have $29.99 for, where's that at? Pharmacy. Now this was not an actual copay or prescription, but I used that category because I did have to request it from the pharmacist in the back, and it was Mucinex with pseudoephedrine in it. I think it's Mucinex D 12 hour, because my husband wasn't feeling well. He had some sinus drainage, it was driving him crazy, and so I picked some of that up and he was using that. Is that everything? I think that is everything. So yeah, I use that copay instead of grocery, household, or miscellaneous. I could have used any category, but I thought I'll just put it under there because it's medicine and it was behind the pharmacy. So yeah, that made sense to me. I do have one bill, that $3.24 for Amazon Digital. And this is something new. They started this month with our account. You can cancel this or not agree to have this, but we watch Amazon Prime a lot of old shows that we grew up with in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. And so some of the programming on that is commercial free for that. Not all of it, but some of the programming is. And some of the program that we watch is commercial free with that. So we decided to try it out, and if we don't feel like it's worth the money, then we'll just cancel it later. But I thought it wasn't too bad for $3.24. I think the actual charge is $2.99, but our state charges tax, so there's that. So now let's go back to the weekly check-in and fill out what we spent and see what the numbers look like. I know I'm already over budget with restaurants, but it wasn't too bad because the other categories covered the cost of it. You can look at your spending categories one of two ways. You can look at it as each category getting a certain amount for the entire month or for the week, or you can look at all your categories combined, and that total is where you draw your numbers from. I like to separate it each week by a certain amount and then see what's left over at the end of the month. Restaurants was just our Achilles heel this month. So, okay, grocery household, we spent $252.56, and that leaves us $344.28 minus the $252.56, and that left us with $91.72 in grocery household. My total for the month for grocery household was $1,600, and I still have $91 left. So that was pretty good. I thought I had $107.55, $47.77 was something from previous weeks that I forgot to include, so that wasn't a true number, but that's okay. I'm going to take this total, $129.93. I did catch it, so now I know I am over budget by $22. I forgot to write this down. Spent $129.93, and I was over budget by $22.38. Not too bad because I still had $90 left in grocery household. Obviously that I wasn't going to go negative in my bank account because I still had money left over in that category at the end of the month. Not a problem. All right, next I have miscellaneous, $271.96, and I spent, there we go, $89.93. There we go. There we go. So that is $182.03. Now I'm going to put check marks because I've already made the bank transfer and paid that. You see here I have zero unbudgeted. I didn't have anything out of the ordinary that I didn't have a category for. So we are good to go there. and that kept us in budget. Over here, I'll do gas and copay because typically I don't carry it into this, though in future months I might. All right, so let's go ahead and what this tells me is I did pretty good. I still have money left over, and that's going to be good for us going forward into February, because anything left over from our spending categories stayed in the buffer of the checking account, which is the balance you see at the end of the month. Or paycheck to paycheck. What's left in paycheck 3 and the buffer of the checking account, leftover spending here is what I'm balancing forward into February. And that way I don't have to pull as much out of savings to cover the cost of the entire month of February. If you saw my February budgets, my husband's job does not actually pay him his first paycheck until the last day of the month, which is fine. We have the money. It's not a big deal. And so that last day of the month will be March's first of the month pay. So that's what we're going to do going into March. I only have one bill. Let's total up what I needed to pay the credit card back. I have all my totals here on what I spent, and then this little additional $3.24. So let's total all these numbers up and find out how much we owe the credit card, which I've already paid. But to show you the number, what I paid the credit card on our spending and this one bill over here. So I have $252.56 plus $129.93 plus $89.93 plus $53.02 plus $29.99, and then want to add, that's $555.43, and then want to add the $3.24, and pay credit card was $558.67. So that is the number right here, and that's what I paid the credit card back. Now I'm going to take all these numbers and we're going to go over here, and that closes out the weekly check-in, and I'm going to put our spending categories in this area. And I think I need to add in the little bill that we got. Oh, Amazon Digital right there. I've already added it in. So we're good to go there. I will say here, I need to make this 0. This was weird. So December, they didn't charge my son's life insurance that I got him. $33.16. They did not charge us that. But they moved the date on when this was due. They moved it to when my other life insurance, I have 2 life insurances that I pay on. One for me, my husband, and my youngest son. And then my oldest son, I had to get a separate policy because he turned 25, and in order to have a policy on him, I had to get a separate one. So that's that. And it's a term life policy for him until he's 65, I think. And so that is taken care of. So this is 0. I don't know why I rewrote it. All right. But it didn't charge in December. And the numbers carried over, and it kept messing with the totals here and the bank account. So in order to match the bank account and take care of everything, I had to adjust the numbers here. So I have to take that back out. It did charge this month and earlier in the month, and it just kind of canceled each other out. So I put 0 this month instead of last month is essentially what I did. And the numbers came out fine. When my the night before my husband's income was to post, and I paid the credit card, what was left over was the money that was left in the checking account before the new deposits came. And that is the number I used to make sure what I had already in the checking account and what left I needed to transfer to equal $2,870, which is what I need to cover all the bills and have a buffer in my checking account. Okay, that was a mouthful. Hopefully the editing turns out okay. Let's see. Let's total what I have and we will go from there. Now, nothing changed here. We'll just double check the number as far. I'm going to take this off. This is what we were guessing. $819.38 would be left over this month. You will be surprised what we actually had saved because it was definitely more than that. $1,629.53 plus $684.05. All right, so yes, I did add it correctly last time, so that works. $2,313.58. There we go. And then that was the total income for that paycheck period. All right, let's see how do I want to do this with my calculator. Let's see. I have $438.34. This was the sinking funds. I did do a closeout sinking funds video. I'll try to link that in the card so you can go back and take a look at that if you have not seen it, or you can look under my sinking funds playlist. This is what was transferred over into a savings account for our sinking funds, and I explain all that in that video. Obviously, I had to take this out to kind of adjust for everything. The $3.24 for Amazon Digital that I forgot was coming and happened. And then tithe, we tithed $70 for this salary. This was the, well, not hopefully, as far as we know, the last salary check that he was going to get from his my husband's previous job before he quit. They gave him a check earlier in paycheck 2, and then I think another check here, and I think they're done. Okay, let's go ahead and add the $70 and let's see how much we spent on bills. And this is $511.58. So that's what we're going to put here. A little more than what we thought, just because the tithe, I forgot to actually include that when I saw that. I'm like, hey, we got income. And then I'm like, oh yeah, we tithe our income. Duh. And I'm glad I caught that. So that was a transfer. And that was so funny too, because I looked at my bank account the other day and it didn't say what it was for. It was just a pending transaction. And I forgot I had tithed. I'm like, what is this $70? Where is it going? Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out what I did. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. That was me. I thought for sure somebody hacked and used our checking account information, but no, that was just me. And I forgot. It just happens. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so this is what I have for paycheck 3 in my actuals for spending on the variable categories. $252.56. Restaurants are $129.93. Miscellaneous was $89.93. And then gasoline actually was $53.02. We didn't do anything the previous week. Copay, that was the $29.99, and unbudgeted was $0 and nothing else. That bill is already over here, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. So now I get to do the transactions here. All right, so I have $252.56 plus $129.93 plus $89.93. $53.02 and $29.99, and that is it. So significantly less. I gave myself over $1,000 here, and we did $555.43. So if you are somebody that has regular income and wants to use what's left in your spending categories in order to do savings challenges or just to transfer into savings or things like that, this is a great opportunity to do that. This is a pretty large number, but I also included a pretty sizable buffer in my checking account in order to have this large number left over. So yeah, I'm using my savings already, so there's no reason to do those kind of things for me. And I'm not big on savings challenges. I like coming up with them. I just don't like doing them. So it's kind of weird, but I like them. I like watching people do them and achieve their savings goals. So those of you that do savings challenges, I do watch your videos and I do enjoy watching them. So I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and find out the results of how much income and savings we had, and what the expenses were, and what was left over for the month of January that I could use in February. $511.58. I can see you going, no, you're messing up. And then minus the $555.43, which means I carried over in the month of January to February on the 1st, or balance forward, as I like to say, $1,246.84. That is the number. The closeout for paycheck 3 after the weekly check-in, and I am done and done. Okay, so that is my budget closeout. That's the weekly check-in. That's paycheck 3 closeouts, and I am done with the month of January. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a